Hey guys, it's Penelope in London, and this is a really short update of the chart of today. And I'm just going to run through a few of the aspects of you because the energy is very heavy, and it's good to understand why. Why the collective and from the symbols, what they mean and how they affect us. So if we have a look currently, we've got Pluto is at 22 degrees. So Pluto is the soul. Pluto is our soul journey, and it's birth, death, transformation, transmutation. We've got Saturn, which is to do with impart karma, but also teacher, and also to do with restriction. And, as we mature, we have restrictions as well as we go through life in order to gain wisdom and garner wisdom from things before we move forward. We have Jupiter, which is to do with our higher purpose, higher education, and also to do with overseas travels and truth. And, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Pluto rules Scorpio, and Saturn rules Capricorn. And currently we've got Saturn is currently at 25 degrees on the 1st of December. I think as 21st of December, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, but we will have Jupiter and Saturn will be 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is really good to know. I mean, we're just going in for more and more shift. We're shifting humanity and our consciousness as well. We're awakening through COVID. We're being through the dream of being human. Like if we think we go to sleep at night, we have dream space, and in that dream space, we get to solve problems, make decisions, and come into alignment somewhere through the psyche in our dream state. And very much living on planet Earth is quite like one big dream as well, although we're dealing with reality in waking hours. We've also got, at the moment, these planets are square to Mars, and also we got a square to the Sun, which is forming a T-square, which is a lot of tension. So if we look at the Sun, which is opposing Mars at the moment, you can see the Sun here is opposing Mars. And this is where the Sun is basically the planet of vitality, and Mars is the planet of action, energy, and our drive. So when the Sun is square, there's a combative light, shining on things. It's combative. It's where we're feeling it's to do with our power as well. And it's where we want to push things forward. But also it's a lot of difficulties come about because we can't go forward at the moment. We want to go forward, but we can't go forward because there's a lot of restriction. The Saturn is restricting. And if we go now and look at the Sun square Jupiter, this is where Jupiter is the planet of expansion and also to do with our good fortune, but it can also be to do with excess. So when it's square, there's a light shining on, opportunities, which is a good thing to know that, it's not all bad. It's like the planets are working through, and it can help us to have a little bit of enthusiasm. But we've also need to be, go ahead with caution at this time. If we look at Mercury also opposing Uranus at the moment, which is another big one, we got Uranus here, and it's opposing Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Uranus is the planet of revolution and breaking free of limitations. So when we've got an opposition, our mindset is like we're being jolted and having insights, and we can be quite erratic, and there can be visionary ideas expressed at this time as well. But also our ideas can get out of control at this time. It's an inventive combination, and it can produce genius type quality within us. It's thinking about the problems that lay ahead of us, and we're trying to channel that. That's what we're trying to do at this time, because we need to use that energy in a creative way, individually, but also for the collective. So it's random, and it's also eccentricity as well, with the way we're expressing each other as well, because it's Mercury. If we look at Pluto, I want to see here Pluto, the Mars square Pluto, which is very, one of our big ones at the moment that we're feeling, because we've got 21 degrees and we've got Pluto at 22. So we got Mars 21 Aries, which is very fiery. And then, with this in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn again is restriction. So Mars is, we know, the energy, and Pluto is transformation. So we've got with the square there, the forces of the psyche are unleashed in us. So we can be feeling a lot of maybe anger, but we want to transform and we want to go forward. And this can manifest, in different ways for different people. But there's a huge potential here for anger and violence to come to the surface when this is going on. So we might be feeling that inside us. So sometimes we might feel these feelings, but we don't act on them. We might feel this sort of sense of, we've had enough, and that we want to, physically do something about it, but, clearly we don't act out on that. So we need to watch out for the way we're feeling, and that we're paying careful attention and directing our actions in a way that can lead to understanding and healing and regeneration because of the Pluto. So we want our actions to bring healing rather than, impulsiveness and anger and rage. The other thing, the Uranus in Taurus is changing our monetary system as it moves through over the coming years. It's retrograde at the moment, so we're a little bit stuck. I did read something today, an UK sort of link it was, and it was saying that money, COVID, they're finding traces on money, like paper money, that can stay for up to 4 weeks. How they figure that out, I don't know, because paper money would keep exchanging hands. I guess maybe they would have done a test on that. So that was interesting. Would that be one way that maybe the government decide that they're being done with paper money in order to go to another level of how we're dealing with our money? But then if we have electronic money, we can see where it's being moved to and who's moving it. There's no way of really hiding that. Whereas with paper money, we're able to hide somewhat with what we're doing with it. If we're holding a lot of paper money, I don't know many people who are, but clearly there will be people in the world who are. And we've got Venus in Virgo here. The Sun is in Libra, Mercury in Scorpio. It's about to go. Tomorrow it's going to station, and I'm going to show you that tomorrow it will station, and then it will go. I'm going to bring this back tomorrow. Mercury here, you see here, Mercury in Scorpio. This is the 12th. And if we go to the 13th, Mercury in Scorpio, 10 degrees, sorry, Mercury in Scorpio, 11 degrees. And then it's going to station, Mercury in Scorpio. And then it's going to, for 3 weeks, it's then going to go retrograde. So we're going to go inward, but we're dealing with our inner psyche. For me, this is happening in my 12th house. So it means I'm going inward, and I'll have things to say as I make discoveries and investigate things in my inner world. And it's important. The best way to use that in the 12th house is to speak what needs to be said for me as it goes through that period. Then I don't just be secretive, and I have the ability to speak up. So do make sure that you check where that's happening for you. I've got Scorpio rising. So for me at 27 degrees, so for me, this is in my first house. It will stay there for me until the 30th of November. So you can even check that. If you want me to do that with you, I'm happy to help you. I do read charts, and you can book with the booking link you'll see below the video. And also Lilith is going to be going into Taurus. That will be interesting. I will look at what that means, because Lilith is the inner feminine in the male and the female. It's not just this affects both the masculine and the feminine. Lilith, breaking free of limitations in the way that rageful, like standing up for herself, which is, let's see there. We've got Lilith at 29 degrees. I'm just looking here, 29, 30 in Aries. So if we go, let's say, a week ahead, and for a chart like this, for your own birth chart, you do go to AstroSeek, they're a brilliant site. So you can also check all the retrograde dates there. So Lilith will be in Taurus in a week's time. And you can also see the planets here, what they're up to. And if you can't read this, then you can see here, you can teach yourself, the sun, and it says Scorpio. So you would look, where the sun, that's a symbol. And then you look at the sign, that's the sign. And then it says Scorpio as well. So you can self-educate with this tool. And then you can look at the aspects of the day. If we come back to today's date, the current, look here, current planet, current. And you can see this is what's going on right now. And the moon right now is in Leo. So 12 degrees of Leo, and then you can see the aspects below, which is excellent. So there you go. I'm leaving it there. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.